Tamanga ko malahilong olor bunga. Arin ako nakamahar makama. Amalo. Tamani pija kito ako ma. Nuna mo tuklo nga. Nuna leo ilone. Ikaro ko matsunga amalo. Hano ini. Ikaro dekarak mangake. Tamani ilsarak sinuko.
Well, to be honest, I had to be encouraged to go to Seja. I initially didn't think of it, I didn't think much of it, but now I really like it.
Well, I just missed school. It was my life felt empty without school, so basically I just came back to school.
It's becoming independent and living in your own in a big city, and to figure out who you really are.
The experience, I feel like my mind is being opened and my eyes are being like, I don't know, opened, and it's like an adventure.
Well, the best thing is to actually make new friends. You make a lot of friends when you're here, and you also get to be away from home for the first time. It's actually really nice.
During my first semester of college, it was very hard for me. I wasn't expecting that. I guess when I was in Georgia River, I thought, oh, college, I'm so excited to live in the city. But when I actually came here, it was hard, but I could do it if I was willing to put in the work. And every time I would go in class, or every time I would hear that there's going to be an oral presentation, I would go through so much stress, like anxiety, and I would call my dad and I would tell him I can't do it, like I'm just so stressed. All these Haluna kids are better than me, and I was just feeling so overwhelmed. But then he told me that if you're willing to put in the work, that you can do it. That even though you came from a small community in Nunavik, you can do it just as much as these kids that came from Montreal. That you're no different, that you're just as capable.
Aksuro tirilongo asura. Hinara hantore bilangan ni amalo. Ilakkan ilo pengo sisuro misonga kisiane. Uharo tiko uhaviri to ke ikula sura lakmiya.
The hardest thing about going to college is the homesickness, plus sometimes you lose motivation to try to do your homework or just to get out of bed, but at the end of the day, like you realize why you came here. It's to further your education, and like I get back and I get focused again, and I try hard to keep that motivation going.
The hardest thing is keeping up with homework. That's one big thing about college.
I'm the person that has to control my whole education now, so I have to get up in the morning. I have to be the one to get my homework done on time. My teachers aren't going to remind me constantly when the due dates are, so I have to learn how to write down all the things that I need to have done in my agenda.
In my last 2 years of high school, I had absolutely no homework. I would arrive late to school almost every day. Sometimes I would miss up to 3 days of school and come back and still get a really good mark on a test. Now in college, I miss a day and I'm already behind on everything. I have a lot of homework. Frankly, it's a lot harder.
It's not like Nunavik, where if you miss a class, they're gonna wait for you. No, that's not how it works here. They're gonna continue, and in one class you can miss so much information. So my advice is go to class and just go to class and take notes, because that's what a lot of college classes are like. The teacher talks and you take notes.
In high school, I feel that there was more of a bond between a student and a teacher, and they'd be like, it's more like, you know, you go to class, you see your teacher, he tells you what to do, and you go home, and like, you know, there isn't much of a connection here. But like, there's some teachers like where you like that try to bond with you, but not as much as high school.
I don't know, like, it's really different because you're always with the same people in class, like in your grade, and in college your classmates are different for every class. So I think that's the most, I don't know, different thing about high school and college.
Coming from a small community, growing up with everyone I know, but suddenly moving to a big city like Montreal, is extremely hard, especially when you're homesick and you don't have your family to be there for you to talk to in person. But it really helps when you call them to cope with the homesickness that you're dealing with once in a while.
Back home, you don't even know what to do with your time. What are you doing? I don't know what to do today. Here, you're like, oh, I have to do this. These things you have to do.
Well, it's very different. You have to take a bus everywhere you go, and you have to plan out things. And the thing that you really have to think about is money. Like, if you keep using the money, like, as soon as it comes and you're using it up, you're gonna have no money for a while. You really have to be careful with that.
But living in Montreal is very hard and could be very stressful at the same time. And I don't know, it's challenging, pretty much.
The residents, Inuktitut residents, I lived here for the first year. Everyone in their first semester lives here for a year. At first, it wasn't as nice, but then KSB did some renovations, and now it's really, really nice. The bedroom I had here was practically nicer than the bedroom I had at home, and there's always food available. Like, there's a cook that makes your meals for you, so when you're doing homework, you don't have to think about what you're gonna cook. The food's ready, and there's always snacks, and it's healthy snacks like oranges. And there's always, you're living with other Inuit students from different communities or from the same community, so that makes it easier for you when you're homesick. There's Inuit people to bond with.
I live in Dorval. My daughter's school is about 10-15 minute walk, and their daycare is right at the school. My bus stop is a 15-minute walk from my place. It takes me about 40 minutes bus ride to get to John Abbott.
I was living in the Inuktitut residence for my first and second semester, and here I'm living with like 14 people. There's at least one bunk bed in every room. There's six rooms, right? And yeah, I think there's 6 rooms. But we have a cook, Tina. She cooks for us for lunch and supper, and
Yeah, I live in Dorval too. Takes 30 to 45 minutes by bus to get to my school, depending on which bus I take. Yeah, I'm close to the grocery store, close to the airport, so I get a lot of people who want to stay at my house overnight before they're leaving to home. And I live right across from my buddy's daycare, so that's very convenient. Like, oh, let's go, drop her off, and I go to the bus, and then I go to school. It's really It's easy. I like it.
Well, visiting Montreal is so much more fun than living in Montreal. When I was younger, I used to come here there was this one time where I came to Montreal with about $2,000, and I was only there for less than a week, and I came back with about $20. And now I could never spend that much. Like, if living in Montreal, you have to buy everything, your bus passes, food. It's mostly food and laundry stuff too. But you
You're
cannot.
living in an apartment.
Yeah. You cannot spend as much as you would if you were on vacation. You have to be a lot more serious.
I feel when you're here in holidays, you kind of just do all the fun stuff, and then once you start living here, you have to be a bit more serious and manage your time and what you do during the week.
Like most Inuit come here to Montreal to shop, and being here and living here day by day, it's not all about shopping. We barely shop because we don't have much time, plus our budget is a bit tight.
When people come here for holidays, they come here to do activities, to go to the movies, to go to La Ronde or whatever, and to go shopping. But when you live here, you can do that on any day, so it's not your biggest concern. So you're not going to be having fun every day like you would when you're on vacation.
They help Inuit with their schoolwork, and I really, really find this helpful because if we didn't have this, I think I'd be lost, because even if I have an essay to write, if I know how to write an essay, but for sure we're gonna get stuck at some point, whether it's math or English or whatever course you're taking, for sure you're gonna need help at some point. And KSP is always there to offer you help, which I find is very, very, very good. And if you need tutoring, you can ask your counselor, I'm struggling in math, I need a tutor. Could you get me a tutor, please? And they're gonna get you a tutor, and they're gonna pay for it. And that tutor is gonna be willing to help you succeed in your courses.
I like that KSB offers recreation and leisure activities once a month on a weekend for all the Inuit students to get together to socialize and have fun and recreational activities. And KSB has a lot to offer. There's counseling services when you need them, there's academic counseling, and just basically everything you need to get help. And
when KSB students begin at John Abbott College, all the students have to take a class called, what is it called again? Strategies for Success. And this class teaches you about the college. It teaches you about the resources and how to travel in the college, how to find all the classes that you need. And this class taught me a lot about the Aboriginal Center. And the Aboriginal Center is a place where a lot of Aboriginal students can go to kind of just be together, to not feel alone, to have someone to have some support with the education.
Ilinneeqartisimaru, ilisaqartisimaru, sapoqiortiasuurummata kiaspikku, sunnalimaavu, akilertausuun, paskuurutiqilangalugu, nirirutikilaqtavun, apartment talu, akiliqatsangil, ammissuil, ilisaqvivullu akilertausuu kiaspikkunun, ma atuinna seequsuu kiaspikku sunalimaane akilertuisuun akiliqaapi atinta taqa ilisahatikkuka aruinnakuatsasiti pinasuasuu anaanakkungilu katiqsuuqup isuukiinaarni akilertuireaqsitlu ilisaqumini aqsuuruti hasuuruloqluri kisiani inuutsuta atuinnalarialuuti toosuurulugu ila atuinnauniqsani kiaspikkulu sapu miosuurulu.
I see that there's a lot of help being offered to being students here. From Jack, we have the academic advisors, tutors, peer tutors, like, you know, whenever if you ever need help with a course, they'll try to help you. And with KSB, we have weekly study sessions with our specific courses. Like I have one for my history class, psychology. And if ever someone needs a tutor for math or science, KSB will find a tutor for you.
I encourage the students of Secondary 5 to look more into the programs that are offered at Abbott to gain a better understanding of like the courses that you would be taking, because when I was in high school, I didn't even know what my program was about, and I got into it. Thankfully, I like my program, but if you guys don't really know what the programs are offered, I'd encourage you to go on Google and check the courses that are offered at John Abbott College.
Yeah, there's one more important thing. Don't get impatient and call a taxi. Take a bus. That's where all your money goes, taxis. Like this week I took 2 taxis here and it was like $80. That's pretty much it.
The homesickness eventually goes away. It might take a really long time, but it will definitely go away. And when that happens, life becomes really amazing.
Focus on your goals in the future. Even if you fail, come back and try again. Maybe it'll be different this time.
Nilli ko makalok to nga. Tamani, di sa ka kumalato ako si kumalako tok kalon ni kinatuin na may lisami, anana kaya may atata kaya may kinatuin na doon ni ilin niya ako marahalato ako. Arin na si Matsya red. Katak si Matsya nilo kinarak ni. Atino limare natutsin ni tamani. Ammalo pinal tahakalo yuhakalok pa aksok natu sukalo kisani arina lakito hatok pa kun natu like you can succeed aksok natu hakalok pa.
Like I said, the schoolwork is harder, but then again, it's you who has to decide. Are you willing to put in the work? And yeah, I'm willing. I'm willing to do the work. And everyone here so far, I know they're willing to do the work. It's not easy, I'm not gonna lie, it's not. But it's doable. You can do it if you want to, if you really want it. Yeah.